Some of these might get me in trouble, but we're doing it anyway. Everyday carry is full of trends, habits, and strong opinions, and while I love this space, there are a few things that just don't work for me. In this video, I'm sharing some unpopular EDC takes. Some you might nod along to, and others might have you yelling at your screen. And that's the beauty of it. Disagreement doesn't have to be division. Alrighty, let's get into it. We're starting with probably my spiciest take. I don't like pouch carry, specifically zippered pouch carry. I've tried it multiple times and I even convinced myself that it was practical for my use case, but here's the issue. It takes too long to get to your gear. When my knife is clipped to my pocket, I grab it and go. Easy. But with a pouch, it's pull out the pouch, unzip the thing, dig around, find the thing, zip up the pouch and put it away. And then when you're done, now what? Do you hold the pouch? Do you set it down? Do you put it back in your pocket mid-task? It just introduces a lot of unnecessary steps into something that should be simple. It's kind of like turning your pockets into a filing cabinet. Technically efficient, but functionally annoying. Okay, this one is probably going to divide people. Pocket trash. If you don't know what pocket trash is, it's what the community has affectionately named gear that has little to no function or isn't strictly necessary for everyday situations. Think fidget sliders that cost as much as car insurance, or coins with the phrase "stay dangerous" etched into them, or bottle openers that double as blunt force trauma instruments. Do they serve a purpose? Occasionally. Do they look incredible in Instagram photos? Absolutely. Usually shot on a slate background next to a leather wallet with moody lighting. And I get the appeal, there's an art to it. Heck, even I've owned some of these things. I'm pretty sure I have a coin somewhere that I told myself was for mindfulness. Pretty sure it's been sitting in the same drawer since 2022. Pocket trash isn't harmful, it's just a vibe. And for me, it's a vibe that wears off as soon as I realize that I'm carrying a $100 chunk of metal in my pocket for no other reason other than vibes. If it brings you joy, then keep it. Remember, everyday carry is for everyone. But for me, I'd rather use the pocket space for something that I'd actually use. Now this one's much bigger than gear. Gatekeeping. Gatekeeping in the EDC space, along with any other community, is unfortunately a thing. And let's be honest, that sucks. There's this unspoken vibe sometimes, like if you're not carrying a $300 knife, or an obscure flashlight brand that you discovered through a Discord invite link, that your opinion doesn't count. Now, I totally get the irony of me pointing this out in a video talking about trends that I don't like, but hopefully it's clear these are just my preferences. Whatever you carry, that's valid. I got a comment once that said EDC must include a firearm, and hey, that's cool if that's your setup. But not everyone can, should, or wants to carry one. You'll see it a lot. People saying, just get this brand, or EDC should be purely functional, or whatever rigid rule they've decided is law. Listen to me. No matter what gatekeepers say, you are welcome in this community, no matter what your views of everyday carry are. Now hold up. If you've made it this far, then you're either vibing with these takes, or you're hate watching with intense focus. Either way, I appreciate you. If this video is helping, or at least making you think, then liking and subscribing is the best way to support what we're building here. Alright, let's get back to it. Let's talk about blade steel. Now, I totally understand why people care about it. Edge retention, corrosion resistance, ease of sharpening. These things really matter if you're heavily using your knife or using it under specific conditions. But in a lot of everyday use cases, I feel like the emphasis on blade steel gets a little bit overblown. There's this vibe sometimes, like if you're not carrying the latest super steel, then your knife doesn't count. Kind of like you're not serious about EDC unless your knife came with some sort of metallurgy chart. But realistically, for most people, cutting tape, opening boxes, prepping the occasional snack, plenty of steels get the job done. And honestly, stuff like ergonomics or blade shape or build quality can matter just as much, if not more, in how a knife actually feels to use on the day-to-day. If you love the steel rabbit hole, chase it. That's part of the fun. But if you're happy with D2 and it gets the job done, that's not a downgrade. That's using what works. And while we're at it, on to the next point. Your knife doesn't need to be razor sharp. I know, I'm messing with sacred territory here. But unless you're shaving arm hair on camera or prepping sushi grade tuna, then sharp enough is usually all you need. You don't need to sharpen it every night like you're preparing for a duel. If it cuts through cardboard without a struggle, that's sharp enough. And honestly, sometimes I feel like people care more about the idea of sharpness rather than the actual cutting performance. It's a tool, not a sacred relic. Don't let perfection stop you from using it. Now here's one that I see a lot, and while I don't personally struggle with it, I think it's worth mentioning. There's this tendency in the EDC world to treat gear like collectibles. You buy something beautiful, well built, high end, and then it just sits there, unused, untouched. And hey, if you're a collector, that's totally valid. Some pieces are genuinely meant to be admired, but I've seen some people hesitate to use gear because they don't want to scratch it, like it's too nice to be used. At some point though, it's worth remembering that the C in EDC stands for carry. I've always believed that gear earns its value through being used. And sure, that first scuff might hurt, but that's also when it stops being a product and starts becoming yours. So if there's something that's been in your drawer that you're saving, then maybe throw it in your pocket tomorrow. See how it feels. The worst case, it gains a little bit of character. The best case, it becomes your favorite. Here's one that I think we forget. EDC isn't just knives or pens or flashlights. It's everything you carry to function better. Your glasses, that's EDC. Your boots, EDC. Your backpack, phone, keys, watch, all of it. If it comes with you every day and it solves a problem, it counts. We don't talk about this enough, but EDC is as much a mindset as it is a gear list. It's about preparedness. Function, simplicity, self-reliance. It's not about collecting the most titanium objects per square inch of pocket space, and trust me, I love me some titanium. So yeah, those are a few EDC trends that just don't work for me, not because they're objectively bad, not because you're wrong for liking them, just because for how I live and what I carry, it adds more friction than function. And that's the cool thing about EDC, it's all personal. What works for me might not work for you, and what works for you might completely change how someone thinks about their carry. I'm not here to set rules or gatekeep, I'm just a guy with too many opinions and probably too many knives. So drop your unpopular EDC takes in the comments below. I'd love to hear what trends you just don't get, and also ones that you love that nobody talks about. And hey, if you want more honest, nuanced EDC content like this, then hit that like button, subscribe, and check out one of these videos on the screen next. Thank you so much for watching this video. I've been Jeffrey, and remember, whatever you carry, carry it well. I'll talk at you later.